What's going on, people? This is your boy Bigg Q from TeamBoydTV. Listen, I just got a couple things on my mind that I wanted to I don't know, just wanted to kind of, address real quick. Because listen, regarding this Cam Newton press conference where he, was talking about how, he didn't feel safe, and, the calls that were not being, called against the hits to him, the roughing the passer calls, and all that, and here's the thing, I've been checking out a bunch of media stuff. I've listened to everybody from, the officiating guy, the head of officiating, Michael Pereira, to Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, a bunch of different people, right? And this is the thing. This is what I disagree with. To a certain extent, I can understand why, some people may think that Cam is complaining, and they like to, put it on the fact that, the Carolina Panthers are not doing so well this season. And, and I think that's cool, even though I think that this conversation came up a little bit last year too. And maybe it wasn't accentuated as much as it is now, because of the fact that what is accentuated is the fact that the Carolina Panthers are not having the type of season that they had last year. So people are trying to find, all kind of stuff to say to dispute what Cam is saying. Listen, everybody watched the Carolina Panthers play last year, okay? And I don't care what team you're a fan of, you watched the Carolina Panthers play last year, and you saw a lot of the stuff that was going on. And one of the main issues that I have a problem with is the stats they keep saying. Because Cam at the press conference said he wanted to call the commissioner, and he wanted to have a conversation with the commissioner about what's been going on with the no calls on the roughing the passer. And so, everybody who's been speaking about this has been bringing up the stats about how, he has 22 roughing the passer calls since 2014. And then you look at another stat, depending on which ones you look at, and they say he has 0, roughing the passer calls since 2014. And, and so what do we make of this? And this is, I did a little digging myself. So the people, including Stephen A. Smith and, Mike Pereira and Colin Cowherd, they're looking at the total penalties called roughing the passer on Cam Newton versus the ones that Cam Newton is talking about. And that's the thing. Another thing I don't understand. Cam Newton specifically said in the press conference that, the shots to the head when he was running to the goal line in Atlanta, and the stuff that happened week 1 and with the Denver Broncos, he wasn't talking about those things, right? He's talking about what happens to him in the pocket, like what happened yesterday in the game against the Arizona Cardinals. When he is in the pocket, he is not being treated like every other quarterback in the league. And I know everybody want to throw the Ben Roethlisberger, situation out there, and Mike Pereira was talking about Michael Vick and this, that, and the third. Listen, we're not talking about Cam Newton as the runner. And the excuse that Stephen A. was talking about was, oh, well, you know how many design power run plays the Carolina Panthers have in their playbook designed for Cam Newton. This is not what we're talking about. And this is the part where I have a problem, because this is not what Cam is talking about. Cam is talking about he want to be treated like a Tom Brady, like a Drew Brees, like a Aaron Rodgers. When these guys are in the pocket, they are protected. Cam is not, and this is his issue, and this is what he's upset about. He's not talking about, look, he got to expect to be hit when he's outside the pocket. He's a runner at that point. Of course, he could probably work on sliding a little bit instead of fighting for yards and everything like that. But that's his game, but that's not what he's complaining about. I think for the people who are saying, oh, well, he got more roughing the passer calls than any other quarterback in the league since 2014. Listen, man, get it out your mind about Cam the runner, because that's not what this is about. And I don't know why people have a hard time, really understanding this. That's the. I don't know. People will say, "Oh, well, Bigg Q, you're a Carolina Panthers fan. Of course, you would feel that way." And you know what? That's not even the thing. If this was happening to any other quarterback, this could happen to any quarterback. Let's just say Blake Bortles, for example. If this was him and he felt the same way, if he felt that he wasn't being treated fairly with the calls when he's inside the pocket, I would agree with him too. It ain't just because it's Cam Newton. It ain't because I'm a Carolina Panthers fan and Cam Newton is the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. That ain't what this argument is about. Which a lot of people are trying to make it about Cam. Like, Colin Cowherd, and this is one of the reasons why I decided to Cam up, really, because this one, if I hadn't saw this clip of Colin Cowherd talking, I probably wouldn't have made this video. I probably would have saved this discussion for TeamBoydTV Live and things like that. But Colin Cowherd is making the assumptions that Cam's complaining is him looking for an exit, a way out of the NFL, because now he has made all the money that he want to make, and his face is famous enough that he can get endorsements and maybe do other things, maybe movies, and he's got a little TV show on Nickelodeon, and Cowherd is assuming or insinuating that Cam is looking to slide out the back door, and this is one step of trying to, because he's been complaining, Cam, and he was saying how Cam said the game wasn't fun no more, and by him saying it wasn't fun no more, meaning to Colin Cowherd, is that Cam is disinterested in playing football from this point on. I don't know, man. When I hear stuff like that, I don't agree. To me, it seemed like Cam Newton loves to play football, and he loves to play his brand of football. One of the things that he's looking for, though, he's looking to get the same kind of respect that people give a Tom Brady. And I know this has been a double standard in the NFL for a long time. Shannon Sharp brought up a good point. Outlining the rules and regulations that were put in place in 2009 after the devastating blow to Tom Brady's knee in the first game of the 2008 season, right? And it's clear, and everybody can see it, and if you want to go look it up, you can. And clearly Calais Campbell violated all of that, and it was no push from the back and nothing like that. And Cam was concerned about his health. He was like, at the end of his press conference, he was like, the breaking point was I could have torn my ACL. That's the breaking point. That's when you really got to kind of take things into consideration where, his season could have been over, his career could have been over, all because, if the referee had to call the flag, it wouldn't have really changed nothing as far as like his health is concerned, but it would have showed him at least that the referees and the officials in the NFL got his health in mind. They taking his health into consideration instead of saying, it's just Cam. Nobody really cares. And and the other thing I disagree with which I hear a lot of other people saying, is about Cam's build, and he's 6'5", 240 plus pounds, this, that, and the third. Built like a linebacker, he should be able to withstand. That's I don't know, man. I don't buy that. You can't treat each player differently when we all abide by the same set of rules. Every player has to go by the same. There's one rule book in the NFL, and it applies to all players. And not Ben Roethlisberger is an exception, or Cam Newton is an exception, or Michael Vick is an exception. That to me sounds like a cop-out. That sounds like somebody making excuses for being called out on their lack of doing their job. You got one job. You throw the flag when you see a hit like that. And that's all Cam is asking. He's asking to be treated fairly. And that, a lot of things that Cam Newton may do or may say, I don't agree with. Cam is one of them kind of people that, I root for him because he's a quarterback on my team, right? A lot of times, I don't agree with Cam Newton, the person, but, I respect Cam Newton, the player, and I do. And he's right in this case. And I disagree with everything everybody's saying in the media and how they're trying to flip this and turn this into Cam being, whiny and complaining and this, that, and the third, and it's just weird to me. It's weird every single time this dude comes to the podium. The last time he was at the podium, we made a big story about how he didn't, they had lost the game, and he didn't feel like speaking about it, and he walked off the podium. This week, the press conference went well. He was answering the questions and everything like that. They asked him about this particular thing, and and you could tell he really didn't want to get into it, but his frustration was at a boiling point, and and he said what was on his mind, and I respect that. And I don't see it as Cam Newton trying to be single himself out or say that he's above anybody else, like a lot of people are trying to say that's what the case is. I don't see that. I see a young man who he want to play, and he want to be able to play it for a long time, and he want to be able to enjoy the same things while playing the game as these other quarterbacks. So why would we hold like I said, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Why would we hold these guys in a special regard? But then, certain other players, we could care less whether, they get, real bad injuries while they playing the game. It's weird to me. As far as Cam wanting to talk to the commissioner, I understand that, from what I've been reading and what I've been, seeing since yesterday, is that, ever since he made that statement, is that, the NFL and the commissioner, they waiting on Cam to call. They got all these stats and all these numbers and stuff that they're going to throw right back in his face. And it's going to be a complete waste of Cam Newton's time. And we all know this. But, at the same time, I don't know what has to happen in order for him to, receive the fair treatment that he's looking for. And I don't know. That's just, my take on it. I just wanted to kind of do this real quick before the show tonight because I was thinking about it. And I know we're not really going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it on the show tonight, but I just needed to get these thoughts off my chest while I was thinking about it. Again, you guys can make sure you check us out tonight at 7 p.m. TeamBoydTV Live. We got a special guest, Brandon from Get With It Sports, will be joining us. We'll be covering all the action that went down yesterday. Really exciting day in the NFL. We'll be hitting all that stuff up pretty hard, and we're going to be live here on YouTube and on Facebook. So guys, check us out. Make sure you join in, tweet to us, and get involved in the conversation. Until later tonight, when you guys see me live on TeamBoydTV, I will see you guys. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Let me know if you agree with me or not, man. Let's write comments in the comment section. Let me know if you agree or if you think, just because I'm a Panther fan, I got a skewed, approach on this. Let me know in the comments. I'm welcome for the discussion. I'll be glad to get into it with you guys. I will see you guys later. Y'all take it easy.